Where's that irritating Gryffindor courage of yours? Deserted you at the mention of the Dark Lord, has it? He raises eyebrows and runs his eyes over me in distaste. I'm not surprised. You're exactly his favorite class of person. But you can be rest assured that the moment you're quite safe, he doesn't want to kill you. Yet. I stay still, breathing deeply, clinging into that yet. That yet gives me time, at least. Time for what? I don't know, just time. Now, he steps back from me again. Will you do as you're told and come with me, or will I have to use force once more? No. That's all I can cling on to. I won't go. I won't. Going with him is not an option with me. I press myself further onto the wall, wanting more than anything to disappear into it. He waits a few moments before rolling his eyes and flicking his wand in my direction. An invisible, irresistible force hooks onto my chest and pulls me up onto my feet. He steps forward towards me, looking down into my face. There's no use trying to get away from this one, mudblood, he says, not troubling to disguise his exasperation in his voice. The Dark Lord wishes to see you, and if you think he will tolerate disobedience, then you are a fool. I look at those old, cold, gray eyes. I don't know what I'm looking for. Compassion, perhaps? Or even just a hint of kindness? But there's nothing. I may as well be looking in a frozen lake for all the warmth I might see. Are you a fool, Miss Granger? I scowl at him. No. Then prove it. He twirls his wand through his fingers. Don't make this any more difficult than it has to be. When it comes down to it, what choice do I have? He'll make me a go anyways. If I try to refuse him, reluctantly give a tiny nod, he smiles and steps beside me before pushing me out of the door in front of him. I stumble out into the corridor and he pushes me off to the left. There's complete silence while I walk along as slowly as I can, with his wand pressing onto my back. I swallow down hard. I can hear noises, faint, whimpering emergences from behind the other cell doors. It seems I wasn't alone in this corridor after all. It's a long passageway. The walk down it seems to take forever. My bare feet pad softly on the floor stone, and Lucius's shoes click smartly behind me. And then a spiraling stone staircase, which is made of so many steps I can feel sweat running down my back as I I'm like, ugh. I'm getting resituated, okay? Figure it out. Anyways, I feel sweat running down my back as a stitch pierces my side as we climb it, but whenever I slow down, he prods me in the back with his wand, and I feel a short burst of pain while he touches me. I gasp when he first does it, but then I regain my control, forcing myself not to react. Anybody else find that sexual? Okay, I'm over it. Anyways, I just try not to slow down, if I can help it. Fuck. I'm too far. Ha 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 ha. Okay. And after that, there's another long corridor. None of the doors in this one have any bars, and there isn't any whimpering either. I assume that this must be the Death Eater's living quarters, although how they can sleep directly above a prison is anyone's guess. I suppose Lucius must live here now that he's run from the law. Not that it matters where he lives. Once I've seen Voldemort, I'll probably never have to see Lucius again. At the end of this corridor, we reach a huge, elaborate carved door with slowly swinging which slowly swings open with a horrible grinding sound as we approach it. I look ahead of me, although the door. I see a horribly familiar, very large room. Hands land on my shoulders and push me through the doorway. The room is filled with a complete silence, although there is about 10 people in here, if my guess is right. It is an awful silence, full of tension and fear. They're dressed in black robes and standing in a semicircle around the giant chair at the head of the hall, a throne with a huge stone snake rearing up behind it. And my chair is no longer empty. Oh God, oh God. All of them, I'm just like gonna say, oh God now, because it's like I'm trying to read it, and then it's just, I would never say oh God twice, and no one would, and she just does it all the time. I'm starting to lose the will to live reading this aloud. It's really, really fucking dense. It's not even dense, it's just... Anyways, it's just, like, hardcore. All of them turn, I feel like the bondage, I'm just gonna be like, and then this happened, and just lose a little lip. All of them turn and stare at me as we enter the room. None of them were wearing masks. I suppose they don't need to protect their identity from those who they don't expect to leave here alive. I quickly move my gaze to the floor, and I don't want to see or to know. I'm pushed forward towards the throne. I try to keep my breathing steady. Be brave, Hermione. Be a Gryffindor. Yikes. God. A couple of Death Eaters move aside to allow us through towards the grotesque chair, and that does it for me. I can't help it. My legs collapse beneath me, and I fall to my knees. The stone strikes pain up through my legs, and I can hear the Death Eaters jeering. I won't let them win. I pick myself up shakily from the floor, and I might be terrified beyond anything I've ever known before, but I still got my pride. But I won't look at that throne. Pride will not take me so far. Lucius steps around me and goes forward to speak to the man on the throne. The girl as you required, my lord. The Death Eater's jeering dies away as they wait for his response, and then a horrible, tense silence fills the room once more. It seems to go on forever. Let me see her face. God, that voice is so high, so cold. And it's not just that, there's something else. It's got something about it, like nails dragging down on a chalkboard. It goes through me and it makes me shudder. If just hearing the voice makes me flinch, what will seeing him do to me? Look up, Mudblood. That's Lucius's voice. It sounds something like it did a few moments ago, when we were alone, drawling and cool. There's a new tone in it, something that wasn't there before. I think it might be fear. Look up! He hisses at me angrily. I won't look at that throne. I won't. I don't want to see. I can't! She doesn't seem to be able to do what she's told him. I should never do voices. I'm gonna do it. I don't even fucking care, okay? She does. Oh my god. That sounded like Emperor Pilaf so hardcore in my own mind, and I'm sure it's gonna sound like shit. I don't even care. Okay. I can't. She doesn't seem to be able to follow what she's to do as she's told, Lucius. That cold voice again. I resist the urge to wince. Oh, I got to know this girl on the journey over here, my lord. That's Lucius's voice. If I wasn't mistaken, there's definitely fear there somewhere. It's some kind of forced boldness in his words. She seems to be utterly incapable of willing obedience. I try to teach her humility, but she seems proved most unwillingly to accept that her place in this world is beneath us.
I'm not beneath you, you bastard.
Okay, however, with a bit of persistence, I think she could be broken. He drawls. She's only a child, after all. 17 years old and not a child anymore. Why can't you look at the throne? It's the same with all muggles, Lucius. I want to put my hands over my ears and block out that awful voice, but I won't be that weak. They cannot see their own insignificance. They are so feeble, so useless compared to us. And yet, I cannot see it. Their arrogance refuses to accept their inferiority, and so they fail to destroy us. They decided to push their children into our world, flaunting them as wizards, or in this case, as witches. I am a witch. I'm as magical as any of you. I can see the bottom of his robe swinging as he steps off his throne and walks towards me. I can't breathe for fear. I can feel the sting of tears behind my eyes, and I grit my teeth against it. I'm not weak, I'm not. But I can't look at him. He stops a few paces away from me, and I can see most of his body in his black robes. He's tall, and very thin, I think, and his hands are like huge white spiders. There's no color in his skin. I can see the tiny purple veins running underneath it. But I can't see his face yet, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. Look at me, mudblood. I won't. I taste vomit in the back of my throat. I'm so scared. I won't look at him. He's close to me.